Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions with Ronald Couming, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success using various Internet marketing techniques and proven metrics. The purpose of this show is to bring on subject matter experts in the first episode or two, and then, time allowing, to give out some tips. Today, time is allowing, and I want to talk to you about an upcoming security measure from Chrome and Google, which is the owner of Chrome. They created it, and Chrome is the biggest browser out there that you must be aware of. And if you're not aware of it, somebody has dropped the ball, because if you have a website, you need to know this stuff, and Google's let us know about this for several months, and it's taking place in like 6 days. All right, so starting in June, Chrome will soon warn you about unsecure websites, should you be concerned. Like I said previously, I've written some stuff, and then I'm going to ad lib. I just wanted to make sure I don't forget anything, so I write it down, and then I cross with adding into it. So I want to tell you that it's not uncommon for people to ignore basics and well-known computer and internet security practices. They don't perform regular backups, they don't use password managers or two-tier factor authentication, or even different passwords for different accounts. Sometimes they even click on phishing emails. Now, they know better than this, but they don't bother until they get burned. Then, of course, it's too late. Businesses are like individuals in this regard. Increasingly, security gets put off or ignored because it's too expensive, or too much of a hassle, too disruptive, or doesn't produce immediate gains. When you or I play fast and loose with security, we're usually the only ones on the web. We're usually not the only ones on the web who get hurt. When a business with a website does the same thing, they're not the only one at risk. The people who visit the website can also get hurt as well. So Google's trying to prevent this. They're trying to create a better user experience. Please understand, Google is a business, and their business is not for businesses. Their business is not for people buying and selling things per se. Their business is for the people who come on the search engine to utilize the search engine to resolve an issue or a problem they have. So Google rightly is about making sure about the user's experience. So that's why all your content, your website, everything really needs to focus on the user experience. And I can go more into that on different segments, but right now I want to talk to you about one of the biggest changes that Google is trying to do right now, and they are doing effective July, right? And that's like 6-7 days from now, is your website has to be HTTPS. It can no longer be HTTP, which is probably the vast majority of sites out there right now. And what that means is the HTTPS, I don't want to get too geeky on you, but the S stands for secure, and it actually goes through a whole different port on the internet. And, if you go through Google, it's an open port, and it goes through, there's, some numbers where it goes through, but the HTTPS is encrypted, and it's more secure. So if your website is not HTTPS, come July, when people get there, they're going to get a big red notice that this site is not secure. Now, that may not bother you, but it might certainly bother the people who are coming to your site, and they may choose to leave right away, opposed to carrying out business with you, because they might not understand that it's simply you don't have the HTTPS, and you're not going through the encryption as other sites are. Even if you're not processing credit cards, even if your site is just giving out information where they click and call you or whatever the case may be, but it's still going to come up that this website is not secure. On top of that, Google is going to give, and they have, it's been a slow factor, but it's still a factor, that if you have an HTTPS opposed to an HTTP, then you will raise higher in the ranks when people are searching. So, if one has one and the other one doesn't, everything else being equal, the one with the HTTPS is going to have a higher ranking on the search engines. So Google's trying to do something about the security, and they're pressuring companies to provide more security for the people who visit their websites. Remember, it's all about the users. It's not about the businesses on. Google's not there for the businesses. They're there for the people who use it, because it's their business. Their business is to provide results in a great user experience, right? So look at the URL in the address bar on your website. And if it begins with an HTTPS, which tells you something important, any communication you have with this web page is secure because it's encrypted. Google doesn't have any problem with websites like this. Google is pushing back against websites with URLs that begin with HTTP and have no S, because they don't encrypt communication between the user and the website. Communications may not be secure, and the user's interactions with the website can be hacked. Again, it's all about the user, not the business. The internet would be a safer place if all website traffic was encrypted, and Google is trying to pressure companies to encrypting their websites with the HTTPS protocol by warning users about unencrypted sites. So beginning in October, that's worse than a Boston accent. Beginning in October, Google's Chrome browser will display messages not secure in the address bar when users interact with an encrypted page. My information say it's in July. But so for Google's purposes, interacting with the website means entering something in a text box, such as a username, password, credit card number, or search term. Users in incognito mode will not get the not secure warning whenever they visit a web page that uses the HTTP protocol, whether they interact with it or not. So should you be secure when you see the not secure warning? Maybe, maybe not. Some websites use the HTTP protocol and encrypt some, but not all communications using other methods. For example, the website may encrypt credit card information or passwords, but not search terms. If the user searches for a product on a retailer's website, they get the not secure warning. If they navigate to the product page without searching and entering their credit card number, they don't get the warning. Obviously, if you get the warning when you enter in your credit card or password, you don't want to hit enter. And that sends the unsecured information out over the internet. If you get the warning after entering something in a search box other than information you entered on the website, may or may not be encrypted if the site is still using HTTP protocol. Will Google's tactics be telling users they're visiting an unsafe website? Well, Chrome right now is dominating the global browser market. Such to a great degree that more than half of the world's internet users will see the warning when interacting with unencrypted websites. There should be plenty of opportunities to motivate users to complain to companies about their lack of security. On the other hand, the not secure warning in the address bar may not attract enough attention to be noticed regularly. Companies may be betting on this. And in September 2016, Google began letting companies know that increased warnings about websites using the HTTP protocol were coming. Nevertheless, Pure Oxygen estimates that 40% of the top 100 internet retailers were still using the HTTP protocol in mid-October 2017. So it seems pretty clear that PR blather notwithstanding, a lot of retailers don't think their customers' security is important enough to abandon the outmodel HTTP protocol and switch to HTTPS. The not secure warning are part of Chrome 62's update. They have multiple updates, and their update number 62, they're on the current version, and I don't want to give you the long number, which has a planned October rollout. If you see the warning and you want help making the internet more secure, send the website owner feedback saying that you're not happy with their unsecured HTTPS page. A little consumer unhappiness can go a long way towards changing, yeah, we'll get to it later, and switch. But more importantly, for the business owner, if somebody gets to your website and they're doing business with you and they see that this site is not secured, chances are they're not going to put in their credit card information. They're not going to even submit into the contact box their email address and their name because they'll be worried about their email getting hacked. Whether or not their email can be hacked that way is not the point. The user may be worried about that. Not all users are so tech savvy that they know exactly what this means. So you really need to switch to the HTTPS protocol sooner rather than later. You can buy an HTTPS SSL certificate from your domain, your hosting people or other ones out there for anywhere from $40 to $50 to $100, whatever it is, and it's usually you have to renew it every year. Now there are some free SSL certificates out there, but they're really hard, or they're certainly harder to use because you need to configure them, because some of them expire every 60 or 90 days. So you need to go in, and if I could give you a whole breakdown on how to go. If you already have a website, how to migrate from HTTPS to from HTTP to HTTPS. What you really need to do is just hire somebody who knows what they're doing. And at RCS Technology Solutions, we certainly do, and we can take care of all this for you. So this is coming whether you like it or not, and it's going to cost you a lot of business because people are not going to follow through with their purchases. Contact us if you want to go from HTTP to HTTPS. My name is Ron Couming from RCS Technology Solutions. Have a great week, everyone.